So, no, there's 3 attacks and then the crit.
Okay.
So, it's the first one.
Just something.
No, they're different. They're different. That's why.
The
D6,
feathers of doom.
D4 and a D6.
Feathery doom. Stand on the spike stones and have just infinite
1d4 plus 2.
Ojo's irresistible dance on the spike stones. I don't want to be Michael Flatley anymore.
So that's before.
That's the most evil.
23 before the crit.
Necromancy is
99 on the
Your
crit.
actions are not true.
99 on the critical damage, so 23 he's not dead.
Necromancer makes meat puppets that are just meat.
But 99 on the crit chart, this is where some of the stream gets to see it. It is a standard damage roll plus a medium death effect.
Oh, he's being decapitated by the bird. It's what I said. Ah! The whole head pops off.
And the medium death effect is D4.
I think it's more like he trips and gets a spike stone through the
D4.
Just roll a D4. There's a chart.
4.
Just a simple DC 30 fort save or die.
And the damage, hold on.
And the damage.
Not that the other ones were any nicer.
1 standard damage, right?
DC 25 or
He doesn't roll 20.
1d6 or
He takes
2d6
9 more
con damage.
So yeah, basically, the insides of his head are being pecked out through the opening eye hole, and he goes down screaming.
Eagles now are surrounding, like they're going around in circles.
Okay.
Around these 2 guys. Last warning. Drop. Toss over your crossbows or you'll die.
Okay. If you spend a round just intimidating them like this,
yeah, well that thing is going to rear up.
I think you can demoralize as a standard action.
It's a standard action that usually requires line of sight sometimes to be threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've got 5 things and something freaky in a cloud.
I'm pretty certain circumstances are.
And that was Lemmy's summoning arrive. What is Lemmy's turn?
Sounds like he's demoralizing.
I'm gonna just use lightning on one of the corners of the
You can't
room.
see them.
I know, but I can't see anything.
He's just blindly targeting a space that's empty.
Can I do that?
He's adding fire and brimstone to his face.
It's like.
Give me a perception check.
Panache.
Perception check. Okay.
You know that those 2 guys did stop moving because the ground hurt.
Yes. Perception.
It sounds like a mess at the doorway. You know where the other 2 guys are standing.
Nightmares.
No. I don't want to hit anyone. I want to hit a corner, just a wall.
Okay, just a wall somewhere?
Yeah. I don't want to hit anyone.
So lightning rips off and stand down! Little fucker. Alright.
Those children will now hate birds.
They hated birds already in this place. You're using the thing that they hate. Oberon?
Fuck yeah.
Yes, the bad guys earned their solar pants.
Get up! Is what he says, and the golem starting to slowly get up.
It's already healing, isn't it?
Whatever you decide, Lockrick. Whatever you decide. Can you heal this giant?
You both have wands.
Yeah, Oberon will spend a round healing the giant, so he's stable.
If you're going to do that, it should be formal, so all can see.
You just want to tap the giant on the side of the head. I suppose you'll be spared. Or you'll have to speak to Lockrick for justice.
How much healing does he get?
Galeth. What's Galeth doing?
It looks like we've sorted things out here.
It does.
Galeth, get off his horse.
Fuck that shit. I guess I'll ride into the middle of the room and just kind of hang out there.
Okay.
You know.
Kind of just look impressive with your bloody warhorse. And
yeah, keep an eye out for any dwarves who get the wrong idea about who's in charge.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Yeah, there's epic music. Yep. The slag giants are stable. The stone golem, it just simply stands up. The axe guard officers. So it appears it's just the thing that's going on where Zildin is. So Zildin, I believe, gets to act. Yep.
Yeah, Zildin looks at his cut, looks at him. You want to see what we do to people with hostages?
He tries to like go to slash you, and it's just totally predictable at this point in time. You know he's just gonna raise his arm, and you're like, "Oh, I'll just stick a bushel of arrows in there."
There's an armpit.
So, is there a key point or no?
There will be, yes, I know key points there.
So 3 number sign.
I don't know if you, yeah.
No,
three.
that
Yeah,
he's went
three.
down to.
Yeah, I'm not spending a mythic point on
This
this.
Captain Cloud says Galeth will never get off his high horse.
So AC 26
Never.
38.
Hits.
Yeah, I'll do that.
3d8 plus
It's still 18.
18 plus 18 plus 18.
My guard is 60 hit points.
Your guard is knocked out. 63 damage. And there's an extra attack if you just want
Just kick him.
Yeah, we'll leave it.
to. You get one more going.
3 arrows stuck out of his armpit. It kind of bumped on his face as you were going by. The Axe Guard officers. Now it's the Lemmy show in the background here.
Do they drop their weapons?
Give me a intimidate or just a charisma check.
Intimidate or a charisma check? It'll be a charisma check.
I will add 2 because of the birds. I'll add another 2 because the thing just pecked out the guy who said never surrender, never retreat.
Yeah, Mr.
And then you've injured most of the guys in the room, so another 2 because of this horrible spell that you know you can't.
Fuck, 15. You are gonna get another 5 on a d6.
Probably more afraid of Lodrum than they are of you still. And that's kind of the thing.
So they still have their weapons out. It looks like they're like, oh, they're getting ready to like attack the birds when they come down, and these guys are just in full on like, we're gonna attack the birds. In fact, I think they forgot to attack the bird. So 2 crossbow hits on your
Does he
griffin.
get an AOO?
Oh yeah, he does.
Right. And what AC did they hit? This guy's not such a
23 and 18.
Griffin is
14, 15?
17.
Okay.
It's 17, and I get 2 AC from Mythic, so 18 misses.
Ooh.
1 hit. What damage you do?
2.
So it does not do any damage. Alright, fucking attack them.
Okay, so Azildin, you hear like this screeching noise and like axe strikes and that sort of thing. Do you mind if I kind of fast forward through this?
No, it's alright.
You kind of got him.
Yeah. It's like,
Druid being
stay there. Azildin, you hear it, and doors are all open.
Yeah. I'm coming, Lemmy,
All right, so you run through this antechamber, and you kind of get the sense that the 2 golems sat in this chamber because they have like indentations on the walls where they might be sitting.
Okay.
And then you keep on running through these halls. You can hear Lemio. You can hear Azildin yelling. There's this long hallway. You pause.
I hear him yelling, I don't know what he's yelling. Don't worry, I'm coming for you. Send the birds in after him.
Pause for a moment because there's this nice cedar smell that comes from the vicinity of this one doorway, but then continue to run. This stone door is right open, and you turn around the corner. You're like, oh, as this thing is like pulling, like like flesh kind of stretches a little bit. There's this dwarf on the ground screaming as this griffin is just pulling flesh off this one dwarf.
What the hell, Lemmy? I'm never gonna sleep again.
There is another dwarf that looks like he's backing away towards a much more open area.
They won't surrender, I'm telling them.
He's dropped his crossbow. He's got a halberd out, and he's got it like pointed towards Griffin. He's backing away. It looks like one of Lodrum's guards. Okay. Arrows flicking by the Griffin.
Griffin moves after Azzy.
Fuck you, Libby!
It was told to attack those foes, but it's still being hostile in that square.
Alright, hey Azzy, are you the only one out there?
Yeah, it's just me.
Alright, just come around the corner then. It's calm down.
No, make it go.
Dance! Dance! Alright, get him.
All right, go home and just sort of wisps into some mist. You step around the corner and you
don't
see
get
these
any further.
bloody trails throughout the ground, and these two soldiers leaning on their halberds and kind of like attacking whenever one of these buzzards above them dips in.
Don't come any closer. Gentlemen, the fellow behind you over there is the most dangerous archer in all the lands. I suggest you do put your weapons down now. How's the other king there?
The king's gonna have your hides.
Oh, it's going to be hard to do with all the arrows I put him and the fact that Lorcan put his axe in him.
Liar!
Oh, really? Lodrum's a big, wussy, terrible king. I'm not really good with the insults, but, you know. People would be coming, wouldn't they?
I'll get the birds to pick up their. I'll just dismiss the mist.
Yep. There he is.
What?
No,
Don't be stupid.
Drop the crossbows, or I'll show you how shooting's proper done.
Lemmy's gonna walk over to the girl.
Yep.
He's gonna have to ask for the statue.
This thing has talk in it. It is my grandfather's dog.
We're trying to get him to help us. I will give it to Lokra. Oh, you can keep it. It's yours.
She was about to give it to you. She thought about it for a moment for Lokra. You get the sense that they've been having a conversation. She keeps a hold of it.
Damn it! Damn being good.
All right. Tell me right now, you're left-handed or right-handed?
What?
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Hey, the birds have got away.
Do you want me to bring more big ones?
All right, I'm just gonna go with, statistically speaking, I mean, I'm probably doing you a favor right now. You shoot them each in the left arm.
On three, brother. Fuck that, my legs. He throws down his crossbow. The one that got further into the room. You could see like this spike, like kind of weird flesh hanging out between the rivets of his armor near his shoes. And
I'd say don't move, but doesn't look like you're gonna anyway.
They just didn't listen. I told them I didn't want to kill anybody.
You swear we'll be spared?
It's up to Lokrik. He's the true king. Who'd you rather have as king? Lokrik or the other bastard?
I'm thinking that the guards who take hostages aren't gonna be up for promotion anytime soon.
Well, it's up to Lokrik. It's not my call. But I did spare you, so you can get a chance. You can get a chance to plead for your lives.
The guy turns his heavy crossbow underneath his chin and pulls the lever.
Oh, he couldn't grab himself with a crossbow.
Which guy?
I think I was really hurt.
Man, I would never have a character kill himself with a ranged weapon.
The fucking crossbow bolts like sticking out of the top of his helmet. He falls over.
Okay, I dismissed the
fuck!
I dismissed the stones on the ground.
Okay.
Azzy, you can move now. If he tries anything, you can kill him. I get her to sit on the pedestal thing.
That soldier's he's throwing his crossbow down.
I get her to sit on the pedestal thing, like lie down, bring her arm out. I bring the other hand. I bring her hand.
Yep.
And I start doing heal check, magic.
You need to be gentle.
You have my hand?
Yes, it was delivered to us outside.
You're with Lokrik.
Yes, I told you, I'm with Lokrik.
You mean the coward returned? Says one of the aristocratic women. Oh, she shoots that woman a look.
I look at her with the diplomacy. The coward that has been.
You're
the coward
not.
you're referring to.
You're not Granite.
No, I'm not.
Granite's come in here several times to check up on us on behalf of. Oh no, Pebble.
Gravel.
Pebble. Yeah.
Gravel. Gravel. What was the name of your paladin's?
Gravel.
Gravel. You're not Gravel, she said.
Oh, have you ever heard Gravel speak? Or summon?
No.
Right. My name is Lenny. I'm one of Locrick's new friends. Locrick is not a coward, as you have heard. Diplomacy, so the others pick this up as well.
Yeah.
He's been fighting demons.
You saved them +2. You weren't here to rob them of holy celestial artifacts +2. You forced the surrender of all these people.
You
I'll
said,
give you another +6.
let's put your hand back on.
Yep. On your hand. Let's put your hand back on. Sure. +8.
Right on.
Also, you didn't threaten them, which is typically how you normally start your diplomacy checks.
All right, horse titties.
Let me see.
39.
Here's the skins
I'll
of your
add a
company.
D6 because I like 40s.
Sure.
Ooh, 45.
She will now be considered the one step above helpful with you.
And do the
That's
women?
fanatic.
Yes.
And do the women? I want the women also to hear that
So
Locrick is not a coward. Locrick is a
Yeah.
Locrick's not a coward. Locrick was
Yep.
a hero. He's been fighting. He's been getting.
Orbit here.
And anyways, talk to her while I'm looking at
She
her.
leans down on one knee out of respect to kind of be at eye to eye with you. She takes the box, she puts it up on the thing, and she puts the idol on the thing.
I don't know if you can see Marty. It's she takes the box, she puts it up on the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, she's got a stump, right? You can. She puts the idol of the dog down. She goes to one knee,
Ones get better at it.
and with her good hand,
Silton, because he's got a charisma of 8, leans over to Lemmy. Stop
I don't know if everyone picked up what you're
He
whispering.
whispers, Stumpworth the Third.
Oh, weird.
Little kick. Little no kick. Bad taste.
She looks at you, Lemmy, like, what did he mean?
Well, because it's a language that she doesn't know. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
but still,
Yeah.
what did he mean?
You said hello. My name is Peters.
It's just not good with people.
It's the Stumpworth the Fourth. That is correct.
Okay, so Braga is a sorcerer imperial. I don't think she can heal though.
I actually really love that bloodline. It's really cool.
They have.
You remember Locrick telling you that his sister was so good that the lineage of angels came through in her.
Right, she's supposed to be like a part
generation.
celestial.
Yeah.
So
half celestial.
I'll speak with her in Celestial.
Not half. It's
Oh.
like way back in
Yeah, she's
Locrick's
like-
line there were some genes introduced into the
Yeah.
pool.
Do I remember this?
Azamar, maybe.
So do you speak this language?
Azamar.
Celestial. Try Celestial there.
Of course.
Fantastic. I haven't practiced this for a while. It was good to speak with someone.
They said my first words were holy words.
Awesome.
Babbled while still in the cradle.
While we're talking, I'm
Mommy,
like
why does the
examining.
little man have the hand?
Marty, I'm examining her
Yeah.
hand, trying to
I can't wait
see,
for
like,
some
heal
people.
check.
She unwraps it and she puts the hand kind of on the altar.
A heal check on what's going on here.
Well, this happened hours ago.
But I did do gentle repose on the hand.
Gentle repose of the hand.
Yes.
is
Okay.
good.
So yes, this happened basically half an hour ago. It took them a half an hour to chop out the hand, stick it in a box, write a note, and send it out to go to
Cast
go to US.
a trap
30
on
minutes
it.
later, that shit ended. No, whenever how long it took us.
Okay. To reattach a limb with non-medicinal
I
and only
could bite
heal
her
check.
with lycanthropy.
But you won't.
I'll allow you to
she'll
make a
have
heal
that
check.
lycanthropy. The hand won't.
A heal check. What's going on?
Is there any way for you to assist, Azilvan?
I've got. What do I have here that can help me with this? The healing.
It looks like he's trying to sew the limb back on.
It's
will
not
healing
its own
kits
sleeve, Lemmy.
will,
Come
heal,
on.
will healing kits be of any use here?
Yes.
Okay, I've got a bunch of
Azilda just doesn't believe it'll work. That's what.
Okay.
Lemmy is trying.
Yeah.
And who is your strange friend here?
This is Hazelton. There's about 6 of us, including Lockrick. We all come from different places. I'm from Yeek.
There were whispers from the gods that Lokrik attacked the Esclav army.
No.
No,
Well, we
Logric
did, yeah.
broke the Esclav army.
There is no more siege. We've gotten rid of that on our way over here.
Oh, and that troll thing that was buggering things up in the tunnels.
Oh yeah, we killed that too.
She looks disturbed at the mention of the troll.
The troll is no more. It has been vanquished. So
It
healer's
was Brother
kit.
Troll.
Is it a use? Is it
It
a
was
use?
it was her brother basically.
It was Brother Troll.
Is it a use of the healer, like one use? And
Sure.
it gives a +2?
Mhm.
Right, so. Alright, so I have a +18.
There you go. You might want to spend a
Mythic.
a mythic. I'm also thinking the +8 bonus from a hero. Just saying.
+8.
Well, +8 from hero means that you're going to get at least 30, and that kind of starts gets in the realm of got the hand back on. We don't know. This is just me.
Cost a hero point? Sure, I'll throw a hero point so that I can reattach the hand of Locrick's sister.
Okay. Just roll. Just curious to see what you get without the hero point.
Without the hero point?
Yeah.
33. That's something. Wow.
The hero point makes it 41.
Okay, Zilman's like, I don't think it'll work, but he seems to be doing it in this very methodical way, starting from the insides and then sewing things up and lining it up and using cure spells and
Yeah, that one's not working out.
oh, she almost passes out a few times, that sort of thing as you're performing surgery upon this altar. Sure.
Hero point?
Lemio and Azildan, after about an hour of surgery, are now binding up her arm. You did see it twitch a few times, which was a good sign.
Dog!
It's undead! Oh shit, it wasn't undead. Sorry. An arrow in each finger.
You still got a whole hand back on. They're just little fingers. Come on.
Okay, while you guys are in the throne room, I think there's some RP that's going on out here.
Yeah.
So, Lokrik is hovering over the body of Lodrum. Oberon is looking at the things that Lodrum has, but isn't quite touching them quite yet. He's curious about something that he's got in his other hand. The guards have all seized the underclan. There is a cleric that has joined. That has walked down this hole to see what was going on. And he actually approaches Lokrik, and Lokrik approaches him. He nods to Lokrik, and Lokrik gives him a curt nod. Where's my sister? I believe Azildan and Lemia are going to fetch her. Very well. Lokrik, the stones, they said that there would be a great struggle. Night and day, shadow, light and darkness. This is what the geode said. Lokrik doesn't seem to be so sure about that.
They're speaking Dwarvish?
Yep. Well, you can understand Lokrik's side of the conversation, I guess.
But I mean, did Lokrik mention the word geode at all?
Yep.
So Lokrik said geode.
Yep.
So what Marty
Do they-
meant?
Can they speak geode?
Forgive me. This is Kotho, the stone miser. He is head of the runic halls.
We have map for him to see.
There will be time for that, I'm sure. But what are we going to do with the king?
We must. There's much to discuss, and many to discuss it with.
Ah, yes. It was the very spirit of your grandfather that appeared before us and said that you had betrayed us, Locric, that you had ran when the going was rough, when us of dwarves of Dvergholme were stuck between two rocks and a grinding mill. Galeth?
Looks like we've sort of de-escalated the conflict here.
Yep, you're riding around in the middle of the throne room with your horse. Dwarves are not approaching you, although they are looking kind of in awe.
Horses do that.
You do notice that Oberon is now touching some of Lodrum's stuff as he's picking things off of him.
Okay. I think I'll start up a detect evil and just sort of start sweeping around the room.
Okay.
Kill.
Oh, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do the cone version, so it'll take a couple rounds.
Ugra's going to feed a couple of potions to the giants.
Okay. Waking them up.
Yep. A cure serious and a cure moderate.
Okay, that's enough to heal them. But when they see the current state of events, they just kind of sit down with their they sit down and their heads are hanging low like they're
watch.
Like they're ashamed kind of thing. You've shamed them. And they're supposed to be creatures of strength, and you basically shamed them.
Shamed and humbled.
You are to,
Yep.
You are to watch and report back to your people. In giant.
Yeah. They look at you.
Later we should meet under better circumstance.
And arm wrestle.
So it could be maybe a half contest.
Okay, they don't seem to be an overly joyous folk.
No.
So. In a very dour situation. All right, so Galeth, you don't have anything to say.
Surrender.
Ah! No, I'm just gonna start sweeping with my cone and try to pick up anything evil.
Yeah, the underclan dwarves that are in the room are evil. They are rating fate evil.
Okay.
And Lodrum doesn't radiate any evil.
Well, I guess he's fine.
That's my evil totally didn't work.
Nor does the stone that Lodrum was carrying.
That thing went on evil.
Trickery! Okay, so there is... Galeth has wandered over, and he seems to be considering, as he's holding out his hand, and it is glowing. What is it? Asked Locric.
Spell-like abilities don't have external manifestations unless the spell does. Searching their auras.
And?
These dwarves we fought, there is evil in them.
What is this? As Oberon picks up the chain with this beautiful tear-like gem that's kind of purplish blue.
Don't touch that.
He just kind of lays it on the ground.
I think it's dangerous.
Kolthar goes, it is the tear. It is your grandfather's most prized possession. Oh, the stories that stone could tell. And Kotho, the stone miser, looks like he wants it.
Is anybody going for the other hostages?
The This is sort of a statement that's sort of in Icelandic to the room. Big boomy voice.
Yep. People don't really know what you're talking about aside from your group.
You, do you speak Icelandic?
Yes, says one dwarf.
Take me to mine.
I'll stay here to mind Lodrum, says Oberon. He's lying. He's interested in more rooting through what Lodrum has.
After we go to mine, we go to jail. Lead.
The Abjurer, the friggin' scuzzy beetle bastard, and all
Yeah. A less black land comes striding into the room. I can take you there. Alex.
Battle's over with.
It was the elfin dressed dwarf that you met in the tavern, yesterday. So you guys.
yesterday. Wow, it's been busy. It's been a long day.
Who's carrying the head of the Vilgren troll?
This guy.
I'm a big strong guy.
Wait, Uker. Show them the head.
Oh, it pulls out from under his cloak.
Yep.
Puts it down.
Okay. there's a bunch of recognition from the dwarves.
Here's the job. He's like, I'm a trap.
It's a Vilgren troll.
There's no one laughing but him.
Even some of the undercline dwarves that are now being manacled, that sort of thing, they want to go near to have a look at the troll. That thing killed almost 40 dwarves.
All of you.
Who's apparently not trying very hard.
Okay, so I think we've reached a point where you seized Dvergholme.
We seized Dvergholme.
Less Slackland tells you that both Morgrim, Granite Hair, and Alogra were successful in keeping the majority of people from harm. There were some skirmishes down in the mines and the jails, but from the laughing and the farting that came out of Alogra, everything went all right in the mines. And Granite Hair just said that something about acceptable losses.
Maybe we shouldn't have sent the paladin to the prison. Oh, that guy's an asshole. You picked the wrong hostage.
You think that he meant that he had to kill a few guards that were kind of not listening to.
What do you mean dwarven paladins don't get detect evil? Oh God.
Right.
Well, that wisdom is supposed to mean that they can,
Wise themselves things and stuff.
Dvergholme is seized.
Aha!
Woohoo, mythic deer!
We defeated a mythic foe.
Okay, just
There are a couple of things. What are you doing with Lodrum?
That's up to Locrick, actually.
There is a quiet moment, and you find out hours later. We'll say it's during your rest period. Dwarves are helping clean up the bodies. They're helping collect the weapons and things. They're not trying to take stuff. They are listening to Locrick's commands. They seem to be incredibly impressed by the fact that there is now the big Vilgren troll head sitting at the foot of the throne. Locrick hasn't sat in the chair, but he has been lingering around the dais.
They don't have a king. There isn't supposed to be a king.
Yep. He's been lingering around the dais. Oberon has shown that he is now commanding the stone golem. The dwarves themselves did seem really impressed at all of you, and then a shining beacon of the night that seems to just kind of trot up to anyone who approaches the dais is a bit intimidating, to say the least.
And the sister with her.
Right.
Locrick has said that the same council that met with Lodrum in his coronation has agreed to meet with him. So there is a meeting that will be coming up that may decide what to do now. And in a quiet moment, when he has all of his companions here after a short reunion with his sister, and several others that are happy to return to their homes and loved ones. You have some prisoners. Basically, conceptually, I'm going to move some of the prisoners over here. What to do with these folk? Immediately, the ones that bore arms on behalf of Lodrum, but then there are others. And then where do you end that sort of? Most immediate is Lokrik wants to speak to his friends about what to do with Lodrum.
Okay.
Fair.
Kotho isn't there, although Kotho, you kind of had to shoosh away. He said he was going to go talk to the geode some more in the grotto for guidance. The giants Lokrik dismissed and basically said, take back to the clan, Skralka, what it is that you saw here today. I think that was Ukra's words. So
Yeah,
they eventually are very quick to scramble
you were
from
here
the
to
hall.
witness.
Yeah.
Go back and report.
I'm gonna move some of the bodies off to the side.
They keep their weapons and stuff. Like they're.
The pig seems to be like trying to get Lokrik's attention.
How do you get him back to being a dwarf? What do you?
There's a break enchantment.
Oh, you can do that. Okay.
Yes, we can. We have to know. So unless Lackland can tell them, the pig dude. Maybe we prefer him as a pig. Because you can kick the pig, and the pig's got like 100 hit points. You can kick it all day long.
You get the pig and the crab, and put the crab on the pig, and then you have
Look,
a tiny little adventure
I
party.
did not think you would return. It was not my choice to leave. And then Lokrik begins to tell his sister the tale of being whisked up to Runeshod by the grace of the White Wizard, meeting companions. She asks questions about Lemmy for some reason.
Is he Lemmy?
Oh, like who is this brave man who came and saved us from being murdered? That sort of thing. I never knew druids could be so good. Is kind of the is sort of the.
Oh yeah, because I'm a druid. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She says we should give him the staff. Lokrik's like one step at a time.
Calm yourself.
One step at a time.
Step 1. Tell everybody that I'm not a coward.
Step 2, you got 2 hands now. Where's my sandwich? I'm sorry.
Pretty soon, Morgrim, Granite Hair, and Alogra do join you guys, as Lokrik has asked. So you've got Lokrik's now surrounded by friends. Gameter has a wonderful reunion with his wife, who's been held under guard for some time, and that kind of like distracts his sister from Lemmy worship. But you've gathered friends around, so it's not only the heroes, but there are the 3 that have helped out Lokrik the most in his absence. 3 that hold secrets of what they found down in the Tunnel Forebode and what has transpired.
So,
the potbelly pig has run over to Alice Leckland and kind of bumped up against him.
Oh.
I want to thank you, my friends, before I get busy with trying to untangle his evil. I have a decision, and the decision needs to. If I delay, there's a chance that he may live. There's a chance that he may escape.
Luker picks him up, kind of like
Oberon has a bunch of his things all kind of like laid out,
Yeah.
but there's one gem in particular that Oberon seems to be thinking the most about.
If he has done treason, then it is treason. If he cannot be redeemed, then can you exile?
Yes.
Would you-
Exile would be a merciful punishment.
But you know, something like this will come back unconscious. He, from what you're telling me, he wasn't just acting like a really good fighter. He had fantastic abilities. Now,
How
I'm
was
not
he wearing
saying
other
I'm not
skin?
saying anything more than that. I'm not saying he should meet his end or anything. I'm just saying who else would be his ally, and what else can you do? Who else can you round up and bring to your doors?
We could put him in a cell.
Feels me.
We know a place where we can keep him.
Indeed.
Not here. You know.
With the wolf.
Yeah.
With the wolf.
Yes, but well.
We take some escala. With
That'd be
my
glad.
first stone.
Who could cast the first stone? Justice, Uber style.
If you want that place key cannot jump out of.
It's a very good suggestion.
The question is, does that work for your people? Because to them, he just disappeared.
Say it is exile.
It is exile.
It simply delays the decision.
If he ascended stairs, what are the rest of his? If he is from group,
Perhaps information is what we need now.
He definitely had a lot of tricks, didn't he?
Like all of us.
Well, if that's settled, we only need to keep him for a short period.
I think that would be cool. More than fair.
There's also something very interesting. Look. Did you know that there's a big round room back there? With a very nice statue. I believe is your grandfather.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen that place once as a child, but I was blindfolded before being brought back there.
I can tell you how to get there. Just gotta go around from where I met your sister, and then there's one in the room I think we're looking at it. I think. I'm still Earth Elemental form. I haven't changed back.
Oh yeah, you kind of got the idea of where that door leads, right?
Yeah.
It is the sanctuary door. It has always remained closed.
I'm not sure what. There's some magics in there. I did not linger, but I figured the
He
king
looks-
should know about
He looks
that.
to Lodrum.
Look at all these things. It appears that he's been busy collecting trinkets for a while.
He always had sticky fingers, and as king, he would have access to things that others wouldn't.
Hmm.
Maybe he tampered with it. The stone miser seemed surprised at this stone. Why? Why did you look like you were dying when he touched you with it? Says Logric to Galeth.
It tried to pull something out of me. To split me apart.
Go on.
How does it make split?
I don't know. You have to ask Oberon. He's a sorcerer.
Oh no, this is not something I can simply identify. I think it must be some sort of artifact.
I do remember this stone. It was worn around the neck of my grandfather's statue.
You mean the one in the back? In that room?
Logric said he's seen it a long time ago when he was a kid, but
Right. So, your cousin, I suggest we get more information out of him. Where he ascended? Are there more than one place to ascend? Did he go to Acropolis? If he ascended, where did he do it? And if he got to Acropolis, then he knows about the travel stones. Right? I'm just trying to figure out, maybe there's more than one place that's similar to Acropolis. Maybe you can learn that.
With me anywhere.
No.
You might be born a creature.
Yes, yeah, perhaps.
Your
What's the skin-wearing thing you were talking about?
vile skin. He wore skin of wizard that fell off when Galeth killed him. But Galeth did not. Should have cleft through him. It wasn't illusion or polymorph.
Then he goes to examine the skin. Okay. Check magic.
there's no magic to the
It's
skin.
skin. Like checking it. Like, is it skin? Is there blood underneath it? Was it alive? Skin is alive. What was this?
Could be a knowledge nature.
Ledge not poor. Okay. Oops. 30.
There is a fey creature called a skin stealer that does this.
There are fey creatures. They're called skin stealers.
Uku just turns and sort of smacks the guy's head to the ground a little bit.
There's some fey creatures that are called skin stealers, and they're able to do this. Oberon, can you see if any of the items on him can allow him to do this? Or perhaps it was one of his other tricks.
What always bothered me about our trip down, he turns to Slackland and Granite Hair and Elobra, how quickly they were able to get by those fairies.
Maybe they are the key to this.
Wait, what fairies?
Chaos fairies.
The ones in the dungeons?
Yep.
Truly horrific beings, I must say. Truly horrific.
Who are you speaking of?
Let's not lie.
Okay, I was like,
Pig's going,
Uker's high as fuck.
Your priests are of significant power. It is obvious. If you could break the enchantment of our friend here.
So yeah, Adam's speaking in this guy's voice right here. This is Ella Slackland, one of the dwarves he played as a bit part a few games ago. So.
Dwarven artisan!
Yeah, he's a dwarven artisan dressed in green robes and he's got
Elvish
everything sort of naturey.
So you need a break enchantment, right?
Yeah. He was a good god. He spent much time as a...
Unfortunately, I don't don't know how to do this. Sorry, I need 5th circle.
Then try harder. Apparently you're not the heroes we're looking for.
If you've got a scroll, or if you've got scroll, might be able to do this. I don't know this.
Carting Lodrum off to Acropolis is not a bad idea.
Yeah. So Uker's gonna pick up Lodrum.
Yep.
It is good pointed Lemmy. Come on.
Let's go.
And we're gonna. Well, I think unless somebody tells me otherwise, I'm walking to the bar, the pile of stone bar.
No, let's just make our trip faster. It's magic. The magic going through it.
So dimension door within the vicinity of the bar, get
Yeah.
pulled into
Get
there.
I use 1 stone, and then we go to the portal, and then you use the
You
stone.
turn into a wolf. He kills the rabbit. That's both stones.
It's both stones.
Brother, you're in charge for our family while I'm gone. I will not be gone for long, and I will return. So will my friends.
She seems to have a newfound respect for Logric and his friends like Lemmy.
I think it is important that the people see Lodrum being dragged out. We should go out.
And let's put the head of that thing on a spear or a hammer, whatever you
Yeah, there's a big head beside the throne for the Vilgren troll.
The trollhead can stay. They need to see him.
Carrying him like this, and walking through town.
Okay.
And Locric, can you dress well?
He's slob.
He's got blood. He's caked in blood. Like look like clean. Look like a clean, good king. He hasn't killed the guy that messed him up.
The dwarves are not squeamish in
No.
valiant battle.
Is what he says.
Takes some dirt, puts it on his shoulder. There you go.
Oh, he's got blood on him from all the fighting and everything. No, he hasn't even cleaned his axe
Okay.
from this battle.
So I think we're marching him through town,
Okay.
and then we might go to the, outside the gate to teleport and use
There's a line of priests and soldiers that sort of line up, and then citizens want to see, because the news at this point in time is that the princess has been freed, that Lodrum has been defeated. There are some priests that give nod. There are others that seem more concerned about what's going on. A lot of the dwarves are reserved. They're not like cheering in the streets or anything like that, but they're watching, curious, and thinking hard about what the implications of this is. Of course, who are these fucking strangers that are not dwarves that are now parading our king out the front door? There are a couple of arguments, like we should stop them, but then, there are arguments amongst the dwarves, and then they sort of let you out, and they see that Locric has returned. The only bit of the coward thing is only whispered, whereas mostly there are some that are welcoming Locric back. Of course, Locric has returned, and he has a charisma of...
more than any other dwarf in a long time.
Right. So dwarves are only get a -2. He's got 18, 16. He leveled up, and that brought his charisma to 17. And then he used his mythic boost at 2nd level to add 2 to his charisma. So he's got a 21 charisma.
21 charisma. That's pretty good.
That's higher than
He does at the entrance as you guys walk out of the Undercity. Through the murder holes and out into the entrance area, past the light well where the majority of those that live in Underhome actually live, like their apartments down there. Through the antechamber, through the shield well hall, just full of battered and broken shields, and old banners of past clans that have failed and those that are remembered from the ancient kingdoms. Through the entry walk and out the entrance into the city, Locric actually addresses the people.
In his speech, he says, "There was great corruption and evil afoot. I returned. As I was called away,
on urgent business by a great and powerful wizard. But know that my friends and I will return, we champions of Aegis. And I shall speak to the same council that claimed Lordrum king, and we shall get to the bottom of this corruption. Know that in fair combat we faced Lordrum and his minions, and by the grace of Mordin and the silver axe of Clangadin, we prevailed. But I shall respect the word of the clans. I shall respect my grandfather, and we shall discuss this further upon my return. This corruption, however, must be removed from our midst. Let any of those who see this as unfair speak now.
The skull of the creature is like.
Yeah, you guys are like, you didn't even mention the Bilgrin
No,
troll.
the Logan Troll's in the
Yep.
the throne room.
No, bring it with us.
No.
Just the fluttering of banners, and just there should be more noise when this many people are standing around. You know, one guy coughed a little bit because he couldn't hold it in. But and then everyone whispers as you guys go straight into the gambling den. Like, what the fuck?
These guys are just there all day.
Ah, you've returned!
The thief is lucky. Streak just keeps going all day.
Right. I will own this place by gambling for it.
Did they clear the stones or?
Yeah, the stones had already been cleared. Oh, and I'm gonna roll his oratory.
I've been here the whole time. I'm just lying down off camera.
Yep.
Is there any way to support him?
Yes.
Or aid?
Yes.
My auto aid?
Remy will help, or sorry, Azildin will help by not helping.
He's at a plus 21 perform oratory.
So he gets an aid from me.
Ukr's just holding the guy.
But no, hold on. Is
like,
it diplomacy or what is it? What are we rolling?
And just
Oratory?
pointing Lodrum at people.
I'm gonna let you all auto aid. So there are 5 friends plus 10. How about that for the victory?
How powerful I am.
Yep. Watch as Lokrik play a game of craps to win the kingdom.
Craps of all things.
49?
Outside the kingdom.
D6.
49. He will spend his mythic points to get a plus 3. He gets a 52 on his oratory check. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll come back. We'll clean it all up."
I got this shit.
Not a whispered of coward. Nobody comes forward. There are even a couple of other slag giants that you didn't fight. Like, there is a small population of giants amongst the thousands of dwarves that live here.
They get eye contact.
Giants oblivious to the fact that you're like, "I want to be stronger than you." They're just kind of curious about the strangers. Yeah, exactly.
Look at that.
What's with this strange
You or
guy?
Is that lust in his eyes or? Shit,
A little bit of both.
And then people are visibly confused as you go down into the gambling hall, and once in the gambling hall, let me find Upper City Gambling Hall.
Force us there. Hey.
These guys have all been hauled away. Some of their stuff has been looted, but apparently not the Master of Tiles,
Innkeeper.
not the Innkeeper.
Was it Swordman?
It was the it was the Swordman. I'm sorry, but a bunch of ne'er-do-wells have absconded with many of your treasures, but I managed to keep a few here by grace of my blade.
If you want, I took a tuft or two off of the dwarven beards. They would not have grown back in such a short period of time. We can chase them down if you want.